Blog Talk Radio.
What's up?
WH Radio.
We are the best in the world at what we do.
Welcome back to WrestlingHeads Radio. You got Skits. I'm live here with Chris, Oscar, and today we have a special guest, Ring of Honor Star. We got ACH. What's good, ACH?
What's good? What's happening? What's up?
Everything's good, man. Glad to have you back on the show.
Thank you, man. You know, I've been, hiatus on, podcast shows, too, man. I went on a hiding spree from podcast shows. So this is my return.
Yeah, it's definitely good to have you back on here, dude.
Thank you. The Funky Fresh is back in the flesh with a vengeance, Holmes. Come back.
Matt, I see you've been busy since the last time you were on here.
Yeah, I've stayed busy.
Yeah, let's get into it. Real quick to all of our listeners, if you guys have any questions for ACH, you can tweet us at WrestlingHeads or call us up at 760-454-1107. And don't mind the background. ACH is ordering food right now as we speak. And he's about to hang out with us for a couple minutes and stuff. So let's get it in.
I gotta eat, people. Sorry.
But yeah, ACH. Last time we had you on the show, it was me and Oscar on the show. Now we got one of our new hosts here. We got Chris. He's a big Ring of Honor fan. Chris, you want to go ahead and talk to ACH?
What's going on, man? I've been fortunate enough to see you wrestle a number of times.
Thank you.
I'm actually going to see you on the 20th and 21st in Philadelphia, and just really happy to have you on the show. And I don't know if you guys want me to start the question, but I got a question. Since you're eating, you're grubbing right now, and I always got to ask this question to people from Texas. I've been there a few times, and some of the greatest places I've ever ate were in the state of Texas. Can you give me some names of places that you could recommend? Because I'm actually going there next year.
Whataburger.
What's that?
Whataburger. Whataburger. Whenever you go to Texas, you go to Whataburger. I don't care what no one says. You go to Whataburger.
All right. Because I've been
and stay away from Buc-ee's.
What about I was in Austin once, and I went to Perry's Steakhouse. I don't know about that place, but is there any
I've never heard of
steakhouse? No.
I've never heard of that.
Yeah,
that's actually new to me.
Yeah, that's some of the best food I've ever had in my life in that state, and I can't wait to go back.
But you got to go to Whataburger. If you go to Whataburger, go get you a triple meat, triple cheese, only mayonnaise and pickles, courtesy of yours truly.
I'm all over it. I'm actually writing it down right now. All right, go ahead.
You got to get
you to bring up a food question.
I don't want to bring up a food question. I want to bring up this Friday he's going to go on his first PWG show. I just want to ask him, do you have any, do you feel any pressure right now that you're going to have your first PWG show? Because I don't know if you know, the crowd is actually kind of hostile.
I've been studying some old BOLA. I've been watching some previous BOLAs. If I told you I wasn't nervous, I'd be lying. There's that confidence, and then there's that oh man, this could really be bad or this could really be good. So I'm hoping for the best. And I'm just gonna go out there and just do what I do best and perform to my best. And do what I got to do because I also want to start my campaign to PWG too. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think you're gonna do a good job. I mean, it's gonna be my first time seeing you live, so I can't wait, man. Just just 2 more days. I just can't wait. So.
Thank you, man. I'm excited, man. Man, like, to be honest, it's so crazy, man. Just how life plays out. The first BOLA match I ever watched, because like I said, when I broke in, I wasn't really big on what the Indies was. The first wrestling match from BOLA I ever watched at BOLA was Alex Shelley versus Matt Seidel from 2007, where they did the power bomb and then he super kicked him inside out where he did the backflip. It's like I never forget watching it, going, oh my God. And one of my favorite wrestlers I used to love to watch in PWG was Scott Ross. And I used to always tell myself, man, I want to wrestle there one day. And just like, you know, when I got the email and, you know, when it all came together and it all got the booking, that was the first thing I reflected back to was like that match and then sitting down and go, oh, man, I want to wrestle there. It's crazy now that, like, you know, years later, here I am getting ready to wrestle for PWG in BOLA nonetheless. So I think I can say I've done almost every tournament on the Indies. So, and BOLA is the biggest one.
All right. Well, just to be behalf of the PWG fans that are going to be out there on Friday, I'm pretty sure we're all going to welcome you. So, and we probably in the end might say, please come back. You know, you might do that chant. All right.
Please. I've very little heard please don't come back chants, but not saying for me, just in general, I've like barely heard those chants. But
I'm
if
not
I
saying
do
no
hear that chant, I could
I'm
break
not
down.
saying no names.
Have they ever turned? Wait, what do you mean? What do you mean?
Because somebody, they booed the crap out of somebody, but I'm not saying no names. I'm just going to keep it.
Just recently?
Maybe 3 shows ago, maybe. Nothing recently.
Oh man.
They're not booing ACH.
They're definitely not booing you, ACH. Trust me.
No way.
I've heard.
I hope not, man.
I'm gonna tell you what I've heard from previous, you know, fans that are in the lines, the PWG lines. Everybody wants to see you. I'm not gonna lie. I went up to one of the promoters that work for Pro Wrestling Guerrilla, and I told him, you need to bring ACH here. I don't know if my, you know, conversation made this happen, but when you came on WrestlingHeads Radio the first time, we said you need to be in PWG, and it's finally happening. I am pumped. I am fucking gonna mark the shit out when you come out. You're gonna know it's me. You're gonna know it's me, dog, because I'm hoping to see you out, because, like, most of the talents, they like to hang out, you know, out, taking pictures and stuff before, the show starts. So I'm hoping to meet you before, and all I gotta say, please do not do any hot spots in the area where I'm sitting.
Let me tell you, man, it's about the... Man, first of all, man, it's the fans. Like, it's so crazy when, like, you know, I'm sitting at home and I get all these, like, tags and, like, we need ACH here, and I'm just like, oh, man, that's crazy. It's the best part about wrestling is your voices do so much for us. Like, your voices are being heard, and you guys have demanded certain wrestlers in certain areas, and you guys get that, man. And for you guys to put in the word for me to be in California, like, I'm very thankful and humbled that you guys would do that, man. That's crazy, man. And I just want to know one thing: California girls, are they undeniable? Daisy Dukes. Will they like your popsicle? Will they melt your popsicle?
You are gonna
melt it. They'll keep it up.
Yeah, you're definitely gonna see some girls that look good inside of the PWG arena in Reseda. You're going to see some hot ones, and you're going to see some ones that are not that hot, but I'm just going to keep it real.
No, you can't.
Unfortunately, I love everybody. Everybody love everybody. That's my rule. Everybody love everybody. That's my rule.
Real quick, because I really didn't get to ask the question, you're going to go against Tony Nese. Tony Nese. Can you talk to us about this match? Are you looking forward to face him, and have you faced him before?
No, I've not faced Tony Nese before. I've watched a lot of his stuff. The dude is crazy athletic, man. Probably, you know, one of the best looking guys. He has a really great look, really good talent, man. He's really good, and, you know, he's young and hungry just like I am. I'm honestly ready to go out there and see, actually just to bring the best out of each other, to be honest with you, because at this point in time in my career, I feel like and this may be going a little far, but I would like to personally state this right now, that I think that I am the best pure athlete in wrestling right now. Shelton Benjamin told me himself. And Tony Nese is the premier athlete, and he's a great athlete. So I think this is going to be a crazy athletic match, and I can't wait to, I've been training, hard. I've even been training with Davey Richards. So, I'm ready, man. I'm ready for anything. I'm ready. I'm ready to tear it down with him, man.
Yeah, definitely. Chris, did you have a question?
Yes, a ton. And like I said earlier, I've been lucky to see you a ton of times, quite a bit, a few times. And one match that sticks out is the match you had with Elgin. I saw you live versus him in Pittsburgh earlier this year.
You saw that live?
Yeah, I was actually front row, and it was Bell Vernon. It's near Pittsburgh. And that match, to me, and even the crowd, obviously that was the match of the night. You stole that match. And I remember just telling people before the show, I was like, you're going to be amazed. And the fact that not only you amazed, you tore the house down with one of the best talent as well, Elgin. That was an unbelievable night. But my question is, what wrestler out there have you had the best chemistry with in your career that you wrestled number of times?
That's a good question, man. It's been a while since I've wrestled Fox. Actually, I just wrestled Fox in a 4-way. And me and him have mad crazy chemistry. Me and O'Reilly also have really mad crazy. We just had a match in Chicago for AAW down in Berwyn, Illinois. And our chemistry, man, every time we've gotten in the ring together, it's always gotten better and better and better. I've grown to I don't want to say I know Davey real personally, but I've been around Davey trying to pick his brain a lot, and just learn a lot from him. And every time I get in the ring with him, I feel like he brings the best out of me, and I feel like I have really good chemistry with him as well. And me and Elgin have, I like to say me and Elgin have a little good chemistry as well, just because the fact that he's so big and just so strong, and he brings the best out of people, man. I think him too.
Yeah, that was an amazing match.
I think they set tripping up his station shake or something. Y'all set tripping? They don't know what that means.
I definitely know what it means.
They don't know what it means. They set tripping though.
Go for it. Oscar.
Yeah, okay.
That looks nasty.
Yeah, I wanted to ask him, there's reports about AJ Styles, his contract with TNA is almost up, and he's probably looking to either go to WWE or head back to Ring of Honor. And if he ends up going back to Ring of Honor, will you hope to have a match with him?
Man, that would be an honor, man. That'd be a dream match, man. I would love to.
All right, go ahead, Chris. Skits.
Yeah, you were voted in to be a part of the Ring of Honor tournament for the Ring of Honor title. Can you tell me the feeling of, for all the Ring of Honor fans out there for voting you in to be a part of that tournament?
Legit, I had no idea. I was at the gym late at night. It was after midnight, and I had left my phone at a friend's house, and I got my phone at the gym, and went back when we were at his house, and I had an email from Jeff, and then I was tagged in all these things and stuff, and Jeff was like, hey, we need you to share this, we're doing a vote for Ring of Honor, blah, 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 and I was like, huh? So, when I logged in my Facebook, before I could even get to the, thing, my friend, he looked it up already, and he was like, dude, you're, ahead in the votes for, Ring of Honor's championship tournament. And I was like, I am? And I looked, and I was like, oh, wow. It was mind-blowing, dude. Stuff like that, man, it humbles me, you know what I'm saying? Deep down, you think personally, oh, I'm just doing my job, and I'm just I'm just doing what has to get done. But then when people see that and they do things like that and they demand you to be in spots and they want to see you progress and they want to see you get better, man, it makes you work harder, man. It makes you strive. It makes you strive to be phenomenal or be forgotten. That's it.
Yeah, definitely. Before I pass it on, I just want to let everybody know, call up 760-454-1107. We actually have a caller. Real quick,
we have a caller.
Let's just take this real quick call real quick. I really don't know what area code it is because I think they blocked our number, but let's just go ahead and take this person. You're on WrestlingHeads Radio. Who's calling?
Hey, what radio show you didn't hear before?
Excuse me?
Hello?
You have a question?
Don't be afraid. I won't get upset, bro.
Yeah, I just got to put that person back on mute.
Yep.
If they don't want to say nothing, they're just going to go back on mute.
Yep, I do.
Person was shy.
All right. I have a question. Without a doubt, you fall in this category. And how important is it for you, how important is it for professional wrestlers to travel the country and work for various promotions all over the country?
It's very important. It's very important. Your name means everything, and in order to get your name out there, you have to pretty much go out there and you have to strive. You got to work everywhere, man. Like right now, I'm sitting at a table with 4 of my friends that just did the same thing that I did 2 years ago, and they moved to St. Louis to progress in wrestling. That's how you do it. You know, you have to make yourself uncomfortable in order to be successful. So it's very important to travel and get your name out there. You know, like you got to start from the bottom to get there, you know? I hate that song, but it's a good saying. Started from the bottom, now we're here. Yeah, like it's legit. It's the truth, you know? You got to travel, man. It's very important to get your name out there. You can't just sit in one area and expect to be Mufasa. You know, you got to go out there and you got to travel, man. You got to be Godzilla. You got to rule the world, you know. You got to be P. Diddy, you know.
Little more.
Not Nick Cannon. Not Nick Cannon. You got to be P. Diddy.
I hear you. There's no comparison there. I hear you. Because I try to keep up with every promotion in the country as much as I can throughout the world. And one of the names that I see every promotion on every card pretty much is you. And I even said before you even were announced on the show, like, this guy travels since day one. And it's just, he's trying to get his name out there, no doubt about it. And it's hard work.
2 years ago, man, when I made the decision to move out, to Missouri, I had no idea what I was doing. I was literally, as I like to always tell people, I was literally jumping off a cliff, blindfolded, not knowing where I was going to land, not knowing if I was going to float, if I was going to fly, I didn't know what I was going to do. I just jumped, with a leap of faith. That's all it was, man. And the only thing I could do was just grind. When I first moved out here, I worked 3 jobs. I worked at a bar. I worked overnight at Target. And on top of that, I wrestled. There was days where I was overtrained, and just drained. There was days where, I would fall asleep washing dishes at the bar because I was so tired, There was days where, I would get on the car, I would get on road trips and sleep all the way because I was just so tired. I was just so exhausted, I made myself uncomfortable in order to be successful. I'm not saying that I'm very successful now, but everything that I've gotten is because I've worked hard for it. I busted my ass, and God has blessed me in return for all the things I have sacrificed. I do what I have to do, man, in order to be the best. And, now I have the mentality, I strive to be the best athlete. So now I train to the point where, I overtrain. And a lot of people can say, oh, you're stupid, but I know my body. So I train to the point where I can't train anymore. I take some days off, and then I hit it back hard because I have goals. And it's not just to go to WWE. It's not just to go to Japan. It's just to be remembered. That's why I like to quote, be phenomenal and be forgotten. I don't want to be forgotten, be legend or be legendary. Those are the only choices I got.
Hey, man, you got to put in work to get work. You got to put in work to get work. Hey,
how's it go? Work. Yeah, I got that work. I don't want to promote it. I can't think of anything, but I'm gonna think of something for it.
He is a multitasker.
Yo, man, I'm spreading motivation around everywhere, man. Like, people don't know, man. When I flex that bicep and I scream motivation, a lot of people are like, I don't know why he does it. But I'm like, no, you got to understand, man. Like, that bicep is like a flag. It's like a symbol of everything for everybody that's ever gone through something. That moment when you're at the gym and you feel like you can't get up, that moment when you're at work and you don't want to, and you got to go, you know, that moment when you just fed up and you just flex that bicep and you just, you know what I'm saying? I'm doing it now. You just flex that bicep and you like, motivation. I got it. And you keep digging deeper, man. There's just more to it, you know what I'm saying? Like, and like coming from where I come from, my mom was a single mom with 3 kids, you know what I'm saying? So like, with that in me, I see that, you know what I'm saying? And that changes you as a child, you know, it does something too, and you may not notice it then, but as you get older, you pick up on it, and then you're like, man, my mom did all this by myself, I can't fail, you know? My mom worked 3 jobs, sometimes she didn't even have a car, so she was catching the bus, you know, and she did what she could to provide for me, and I'm the only man, I was the only boy, so, you know, imagine that, growing up with 2 older sisters and a mom, a single mom at that, so, you know, that's my motivation, and then, you know, I'm not going to say that, like, I'm from the hood or I'm from the ghetto, but I lived in some rough neighborhoods, and I'm one of the lucky few that I can say I got out of it, because, you know, when I talk to some of my friends, most of them are not living their dreams. Most of them are, you know, going kids, and that's them. But me, I choose to take this path, the path that I have now, you know, and that's just me. And I use my friends, I use my family as motivation, and I motivate others, man. I motivate the people that motivate me. It's give and take, man. You reach one, you teach one, man. That's how we do it. That's how we live it.
I hear you, man.
Hey, y'all got me over here preaching on you, man. I'm fired up. This is right after the worst. This is the worst time to get me.
We love it.
It's all good. I'm pretty sure it's some there's some wrestling heads out there, you know, that want to be in the business. You know, like one of our co-hosts, he's trying to be a ref. So, you know, maybe we can have him listen to the show, and you can motivate him. So. But,
push it, man. That's all you got to do. Push past your limit. You know what I'm saying? You got 3 things you can do in life. When you can't feel it in your mind, you gotta click it in second gear. Second gear is your heart. You know what I'm saying? When you ain't got it up here, you click it in. Boom, that's heart. And can't no one stop you heart. Everybody can tell you anything, but they can't stop your heart. Anybody can like tell you, and you can take it all into your brain and everything. But once you let it affect your heart, you'll never be able to do anything. And I feel like no one should be able to affect your heart. I feel like no one can take your heart, man. That's all you got. You know what I'm saying? You got 2, you click it. It's overdrive when you come from the heart.
Yeah, definitely do it. ACH, I actually had a question because I know Chris asked, who do you have the best chemistry with? Well, we know you and Tadarius Thomas, you guys are a tag team. What's the tag team out there that you guys been facing in Ring of Honor that you guys had the most chemistry with?
I'm gonna have to go with CNC Factory, man. That's who we got the most. That's who we got the most chemistry with.
I fucking love those guys too.
I love those guys too, man. Cedric's so good. Even Caprice is so good too, man. Work.
Yeah, definitely. We actually had him on the show. Him and Cedric. We need to see you guys in another match. Like every time I see you guys in a match, like I don't know what to expect, but you guys do some crazy shit, and I fucking love it, dude.
Thank you, man.
Oscar.
Yeah, I want to ask him because right now he's in Ring of Honor. You know, a lot of wrestlers have a dream that they want to win the WWE title. It's like pretty much their dream. But in a tag team point, do you feel like the Ring of Honor tag team champions it's like that kind of level, like a belt that everybody would like to win? Because I feel like the last decade, the Ring of Honor tag team division is probably the best division in all whatever company you can think of. But do you feel that way as well?
Yeah, I feel like if you're in any division that you're in, I feel like you should strive for the top point of that. Whether it's tag, cruiser, heavyweight, whatever division you're in, you should always strive to be the best at it. And the only way you can be the best is by being a tag champion or being a champion in general. So of course, being that Ring of Honor tag team champion, I feel like is definitely on my top priority, because from there I think it's the snowball effect. You know, it's kind of like LeBron. Before LeBron had a ring, it was like, what can he do? And then when he won the ring, it was like, what can't he do? You know what I'm saying? Because it was like, wow, this guy seems to be unstoppable. You know, that's kind of how that is. Once you finally prove that, you know, I'm the best at this, then it's kind of like, okay, now he can do so much more, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I was going to say, another thing I want to ask you, usually my co-host, he couldn't join us today. He usually asks this question to everybody. Who do you prefer, Hulk Hogan or Ultimate Warrior?
Do I have to answer that?
I love it.
He usually asks everybody, every guest that question.
I'm going to go, if out of Ultimate Warrior and Hulk Hogan, I'm going to go with Hulk Hogan.
All right. All right, go ahead, Chris.
All right. Now, like I said, I've been following you for a while, and you wrestled in a lot of wrestling tournaments on the indie scene. Are there goals of you maybe taking part in I don't know, the best of Super Juniors in New Japan, or I mean everybody knows about the Super Big Cups back in the day with all that great talent. I wonder if you have any aspirations on going overseas and getting into Super Juniors tournament.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, absolutely, man. I think everybody strives to be in the Super Juniors, man, especially growing up watching Jericho and Benoit and Eddie and then, like, even Devitt now and just, like, everybody that's been in it and been a part of it. Like, yeah, man, absolutely.
There's back in in the early 90s, Malenko, Otani, Sasuke. It was just an unlimited amount of talent back then. And I believe since then, I think this is the most time of young guys and young talent. I think it would just be unbelievable if they had an influx of American talent. And I definitely think you need to be on that list. And especially more time than ever. I'd say 20 years later, it's the best time right now. The Super Juniors would explode. And I would love to see you over there, and I'm sure the whole world would.
Thank you, man. I would love to be there, man. That's definitely one of my goals to do in wrestling is to wrestle in the Super Juniors, man. I mean, I've done the best. I've done CCW. I've had the privilege and the honor to do a lot, man. You know, the Super Indie for IWC in Pittsburgh. I just did that.
Yes.
Best of the best. I did the Young Lions Cup.
That went to the finals. Mr. Touchdown. That was a great match with the Young Lions Cup in 2012. It was amazing too.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much, man. Thank you. Yeah, I've done a lot of tournaments, man, and like I said, just to cap it all off here right now at BOLA is like, it's mind blowing, man. It's such a privilege, man. You know.
Yeah. And that tournament this weekend is right now probably is what's better tournament than America than right now with BOLA. I mean, Jesus. It's a phenomenal tournament, and the best of the best go there, and you know, we're all proud of you for, you know, and I know listen, we all been clamoring for you, and I know, listen, since I've been on this show, there's one guy that Skits has been pushing for, and it's you. Whether it be in line of PWG shows, Skits is always given that push for you in line. So
yeah, I'm definitely mentioning ACH's name.
Thank you.
I'm telling everybody, like, have you ever heard of ACH? Check them out. If WCW was still around, my goal would be to wrestle in the WCW Cruiserweight tournament. That would be a goal of mine.
Absolutely.
If WCW was still around. I remember growing up, WCW would always do, like, Cruiserweight tournaments, and I remember watching those. I would love to be a part of something like that.
Man, that would be a crazy-ass tournament. Just mentioning, like, I can name, like, 5 guys right now in that division. Ray Mysterio, Eddie, you got Eddie. You got Chris Jericho, who was in the Cruiserweights back then.
What about my favorite Cruiserweight WCW?
Ultimo Dragon.
I used to love him in the game.
Ultimo Dragon? Juventud Guerrero?
That right there was my favorite Cruiserweight in WCW, Juventud Guerrero. Yeah. I had no idea why I loved him. The deuces, lose. And God, he was so awful. But, man, I loved him as a kid. I loved him. Yo, and the best match ever in WCW history is the piano on the pole match.
That's a Vince Russo spot there.
Actually, speaking of WCW, I got a WCW legend right here, Tony Schiavone. Ladies and gentlemen, Tony Schiavone here to talk a little bit about ACH, a great cruiserweight. Great. Reminds me of a young Booker T or a young Stevie Ray. Tony Schiavone, ladies and gentlemen.
There he is. Oh, Jesus.
We coming for you.
That was not me.
Hey.
But I have a question.
Hey, ACH. Does Tony Schiavone have a Twitter account he wants to push?
Tony Schiavone, do you have a Twitter account you would like to push?
You can find me at Tony Schiavone, and I just want to say that it is the greatest Twitter account in the history of our sport.
I think they actually want the man behind Tony Schiavone.
Oh, you can find me, the real Tony Schiavone, at iSamuraiDriveU. And that is really the greatest Twitter account in the history of our sport.
Tony Schiavone,
ladies and gentlemen.
You know what? It's funny that you mentioned Tony Schiavone because I think last time I seen him, he did a shoot on TNA.
He did a shoot on TNA?
Yeah, I found it on YouTube.
What did he say?
Tony Schiavone.
I don't know. He was just talking about Mike Tenay and the business or whatever.
What's wrong with Mike Tenay? Everybody likes Mike Tenay.
Hey, I love Mike Tenay. I love him.
Yeah.
The question is, still has a job.
I have a question for you, ACH. It's not wrestling related because I see you always log on Xbox, and we still haven't played 2K yet.
You don't want it in 2K. You got to wait until 2014 now.
Yeah. Well, question is though, what games is ACH playing these days?
Man, I haven't had a lot of time to play any games lately, but I just got the Splinter Cell Blacklist. I was playing that. I played through all the Gears of War, except Judgment. I took that back. What else did I been playing, man? That's all I've really been playing, man, is the Gears with my friends. I just bought the new Army of Two, but I haven't really been playing it, though. But I'm just honestly waiting for Batman to come out in NBA 2K14, and then I'll be good with life.
What about, I don't know if you're into playing, the wrestling games, but would you buy the WWE 2K14 and like create ACH and Tadarius Thomas, and you guys just go out there and win tag titles?
I would, now that I have all my friends here, I'd probably buy a WWE game now and play it. But I don't know if I could create myself. I don't have that talent. I just don't have that talent.
But nowadays you got these nerds out here that are real good at creating wrestlers and stuff, and you can just download yourself.
You just called me a nerd.
There's an ACH going around on PlayStation 3 apparently. It's pretty good too.
Hey, I'm telling you, you'll definitely find yourself.
Someone put me on Fire Pro.
I found Adam Cole.
So. I didn't even know that.
Yeah, I downloaded it. You're on there.
You can download Sugar Dunker.
You can download Sugar Dunker in Fire Pro? I didn't. Tony Schiavone just told me I was in Fire Pro. I didn't know that.
Well, Tony Schiavone knows all. Tony Schiavone knows all.
Tony Schiavone apparently knows it all.
Well,
thank you, Tony.
My pleasure.
I didn't know that.
But did you want to ask a question, Chris?
Yeah. I want to go back to preaching, man. I mean, do you recall the first moment when you realized this pro wrestling gig might work out after all those struggles and hardships? Or was there a specific moment or a match that you realized that this gig's working?
I don't ever like to get in the mindset of being comfortable. Like I feel like if I tell myself like, oh man, this could work out, I feel like I'll get lazy and I'll lack, and I feel like I'll just stop trying, because I feel like the problem with people is people get comfortable, and when you get comfortable, you stop trying. And I never try to tell myself like, oh yeah, this is perfect, like this is good, I like where I'm at. I always tell myself I like where I'm at, but I can always be better, or I can always do something different. So, there's been times where I've even downplayed myself where I'm just super depressed, And that's just me, you know, and a lot of people go, why are you so depressed? And then I sit back and I think and I go, you know, there's a million guys striving to be where I'm at or striving to take my spot or striving, you know, just wanting to be where I see, you know, where I sit and see what I see. So, you know, I get off my ass and I pick myself up and I do what has to be done. I stop crying, you know, I wipe my tears away and I keep going, you know. So, and like I said, I try not to get comfortable. So, you know, to go back on your word of, like, do I ever tell myself? Sometimes I do, but then when I do, I kind of slap out of it because I'm like, yo, that's not what you should be saying, you know? Because to me, using words like, yeah, this is good, yeah, I like this, I'm getting comfortable. And like I said, if I get comfortable, like, to me, if I sit down and I go, wow, this is good, then I'll go skip the gym because I feel like, oh, I'm a good athlete, so I don't need to go to the gym, you know. But I always tell myself, I can work on this, I can get better at this, I can get better at that. So I constantly, you know, tell myself, like, no, I need to strive on this, I need to do this, and this, and this. Because there's so much talent out there in wrestling nowadays, man. It's not what it used to be, you know. It's me and my friend were talking about the NFL, how, like, you amazed. You ever notice how, like, Randy Moss, Terrell Owens, Shadow Ochocinco, those guys don't have jobs, and they're three of the best. They're three of the best wide receivers in the NFL, in my opinion. But the reason why those guys don't have jobs because there's so many better wide receivers out there that don't have to deal with the bullshit, and that's how I feel.
There's parity. There's parity in this business.
Exactly. There's plenty of guys, like I said, there's plenty of guys that want my spot, that want my position. So I have no time to get comfortable. I have no time to tell myself like, oh, you know, this is good. This is the life. No, man, this is the life, but I want a better life. So I always strive to be better, man.
I'm ready to run for a wall. I'm not even kidding. I'm not. Motivation. Go ahead, Oscar.
All right. Well, I actually have a listener that wanted me to ask him a question. This is from Josh. He wants me to ask ACH, who do you think is the best commentating team? Joey Styles and himself, Gorilla Heenan, JR and the King, Taz and Cole, or Shivani and Tanae?
Honestly, I'm gonna go with JR and King. Just because that's what I grew up on. But the best commentary team that has not yet to happen it would be Eddie Kingston and Steve Corino. I think that would be the best commentary team ever.
Listen, Steve Corino's doing some good things right now on Ring of Honor TV. It's awesome stuff, man. Him and Kevin Kelly's doing some awesome stuff too. I gotta agree there.
Yeah.
Sorry, Oscar.
No.
Dude, I was listening to Kingston's commentary on AAW, and legit, I tweeted out, I want him to narrate my life. It was so good.
All right. Well,
and the fact that he never called me ACH too would be great.
Well, my question I was going to ask you was a non-wrestling question. It relates to NFL, but especially you're in the St. Louis area right now. Is there concern that they might lose their football team, the Rams, because there's rumors that they're moving over here to L.A.?
Hell no. You think the people in St. Louis care about the Rams? They got the Cardinals and they got the Blues. They don't give a shit about the goddamn Rams. Hell, the Rams don't care about the Rams. They go to practice and just sit around.
Well, I just kind of wanted to move here because just to hope we get a WrestleMania over here pretty soon. Because they don't want to do arenas, they want to do stadiums. So
I think it will be in Dallas after Louisiana at the Cowboy Stadiums. Because old Jerry Jones.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what happens. I just want to know how people are out there in St. Louis, if they really care or not.
No, they do. They do not. Trust me, they do not care. Like, it's baseball season and hockey season all year round because every time I meet a chick, it's like, oh, you know, our first date, we can go to a Cardinals game and a Blues game. And I'm like, yo, I don't care about baseball and I damn sure don't care about hockey. Like, why do I can't get to know you. And trust me, I love watching baseball live. I'm not only going to take a girl on a date there.
ACH, remember last time when you was on here and Don was watching the Braves game?
Yes, I do. Who watches the Braves?
Don, remember? Remember he was watching the game and like it was only April and he was watching the game and and you were like, it's too early to watch baseball.
It is. Dude, my friend Davey Vega, he's a wrestler. He's a big Cleveland fan. And, like, when they go on this, like, 2 or 3 game winning streak, he's like, oh, Indians. And I'm like, bro, you're a Cleveland sports fan. We know how this goes for you. There's not a happy Cleveland sports fan. Yeah, you're like from the Cavaliers to the Indians to the Browns.
The Browns.
Like, it never ends good.
The Browns just left.
Right. My next question, I have ACH. Who in professional wrestling, period, it doesn't matter what promotion that you want to face, that you never faced before, that you want to, tear the house down with?
Man, that's a good question. Man, that is a good question. Man. Man, I'm thinking. That's a good question. Man, that is a really good question, man. Man, that's a really good question. I can't even come up with an answer for that.
I can throw another question if you want to think about that.
Yeah, please. I'll come back to that one.
Okay. Honestly, I'm going to be honest. There was so many people on this list, and I'm pretty sure the list is ridiculous. But how do you feel about PWI's choices of, people that they made, on their top 500?
What was the choices?
Well, some people that were in certain spots, like, I don't know. But keep this out. Wade Barrett, I believe, what number was he at again, Chris?
Way too high. That's all I know.
I know Wade Barrett was super high. We all know John Cena was going to be number 1. There's a couple guys on the list that was cool where they were. Like, I believe Kevin Steen was number 10. The list, I don't know if you ever, whenever you get a chance, check out the PWI
I haven't
list.
seen the list. Honestly, man, the PWI list kind of reminds me of the NCAA ranking system. Like, it's kind of just, like, all over the place, and you never know what you're going to get.
It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous.
It's very ridiculous.
And it just, I think it's out there just to piss off the fans, to tell you the truth, because I don't know. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I have one question, because I'm gonna be at the September 20th, September 21st show in Philadelphia. Are you booked to appear that night? Those nights?
I believe so. Yes, I should be there.
Okay. 'Cause, I'm looking forward to that.
I'm sorry?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to going to see that. I was just seeing I was trying to gauge who's on this card, because there's not a lot of information. Obviously, it's a month away, but trying to see who's on it. Go ahead, Oscar, man.
Yeah, I don't know if I asked you this the last time you were here, but I usually ask this question to every guest we have. Is that let's just say there's a time machine, all right? There's actually is one. And if you could go back in time, where will you go and who will you wrestle?
Who would I go? Where would I wrestle?
Where will you go?
When you answer me that, can it be anywhere? Like some excuse, like some just like miscellaneous, like any place?
It don't matter.
I would love to take Karl Malone's place and tag with Diamond Dallas Page and go against Hollywood Hulk Hogan and Karl Malone. I mean, not Karl Malone. I'm sorry, and Dennis Rodman.
Yeah.
I would want to be Karl Malone. Nick Patrick, the referee.
Nick Patrick with his left hand side.
But I want to throw a swerve. I want it in Madison Square Garden.
Oh yeah.
Not at Surgeon.
At first, I thought you were going to say you would like to go to WCW and go around the late 90s to wrestle, like maybe Rey Mysterio or somewhere around that time.
man.
Wait. Hey, I have a question.
What's up?
I have a question. What spot would you tell Rodman in the corner that you want to do? Like, what spot would you want to do with Rodman?
Oh my God. What spot would I do with Dennis Rodman? The ace cut. Oh, you know what? I would call one of my spots. I would call the Mortal Kombat, the old Mortal Kombat Liu Kang kick fight used to do, just to see the reaction on Hulk Hogan's face when he goes, brother. That's too much, brother. Or I would one up Diamond Dallas Page, and I would do my show your move springboard cutter. That's what I would do. What he didn't think of? That's a diamond cutter he didn't think of.
Where's Mike? What do you call that?
If that happened, I'm pretty sure backstage Scott Hall would probably buy you a drink.
Scott Hall probably would buy me a drink.
Like, hey, yo, let me buy you a drink.
Oh, my God.
All right. Good?
I just want to go back to that question and see if ACH thought of the person that he would like to face. That's
a person that I would like to face.
Yeah, right now that's in the industry that you haven't faced. It doesn't matter what promotion.
Man, there's so many talented guys out there, man. There's so many, and I'm trying to think of a guy that I've
Give me your top
seen
three.
recently, and I'm going, wow, I really want to wrestle that guy. Man, if Rob Van Dam was still doing indies, I would love to wrestle him.
Holy shit. Wow. Hell yeah.
Maybe even Brock Lesnar. If Brock Lesnar ever did, you know what? Bobby Lashley was doing indies for a while. I'd love to wrestle Bobby Lashley and tell him I do a spear too, and see if he would want to take it.
I doubt it.
I would love to call the whole Goldberg comeback to him just to see his reaction. Oh, gorilla press into a power slam, and then I'll spear you, and then I'll do the gun, and then I'll pick you up for the jackhammer, and then I'll just stop and just stare at him and see his reaction.
Man.
Why
I would love to go what's up?
No, I was gonna say you keep naming big guys. Like, what? Is there like a big guy you're trying to name? Like, you want to wrestle? Not mean a big name. I mean huge dudes. Because you're bringing up Brock Lesnar, you're bringing up Goldberg.
I want to wrestle Gonzalez, Giant Gonzalez.
Oh yeah.
I want him to have I want him to have a wardrobe malfunction in the middle of the ring. I want to go for a crossbody, and I want him to catch me, and the back of his bodysuit just rips in half.
Wow. Oh boy,
hey, what about the Ultimate Warrior?
That dude was
I
a
would
hooper,
never
by the
wrestle
way.
the Ultimate Warrior.
Giant Gonzalez was a basketball player. Just some random information. For the Hawks.
Speaking of basketball, I'm sorry I had to mention this, but
he was really a basketball player?
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
he was.
Yes, sir. Played for the Hawks. Atlanta. I think that's where they scouted him. Because it was in Atlanta.
In Venezuela? One of my friends here just dropped another piece of information. Apparently it was Venezuela.
There you go.
I just want to mention this, ACH, and I'm sorry I had to mention this, but I am sorry that your San Antonio Spurs lost to the Miami Heat.
Let's not talk about that.
Whoa, I was going for you guys, dude. Trust me.
I bet you were. Let's not talk about that. I got my Spurs hat on right now. Let's not talk about that.
Game 6 is the one. That was the worst.
Game 6, yeah. You want to just keep talking about it. Hey, how did the Lakers do?
I'm not a Lakers fan. I'm a Bulls fan.
I'm pretty sure everybody in California became a Golden State fan for a hot second.
I got respect for Golden State, but I'm not a Golden State fan. I love Steph Curry.
That's not fair. Well, then again, wait a minute. Texas is because I was going to say that's not fair. Like California has you got the Golden State, you got the Clippers, and you got the Lakers. And I was like in Texas, you got the Rockets, Spurs, and the Mavericks. So never mind, I can't say that.
Well, I don't want the Clippers here. They can just get the hell out of here.
Hey, is it true Lamar Odom is stuck at the airport and he was thinking about killing himself?
I didn't hear about that, but I did hear that he on some drugs and he cheated on Chloe.
He cheated on Chloe? Whoa.
Yeah, he's in hiding right now.
Oh, wow.
Well, he was always a mess up.
Mary Kardashian.
He was always a mess up. Even before he went to college, he was supposed to go into UNLV, and then he messed that up and went to Rhode Island. He's always been a head case. It's unfortunate.
Isn't that a little backwards, though? You would think you would smoke crack to marry a Kardashian versus marrying a Kardashian and smoking crack. It's a little backwards there, but I guess.
Real quick, I have another question.
To Kanye West's album.
I was about to mention hip-hop. Like, who you listening to these days?
Man, always J. Cole. No matter where I go, always J. Cole. Ain't no one better than Jermaine. I actually, man, honestly, I just been grabbing songs here and there. I like to listen to albums like when the hype goes down, because when the hype is up, everybody over-exaggerates everything when it's a good album. So I'm waiting. I'm trying to get a copy of the Kendrick Lamar album now that everybody's calmed down on it.
I got you.
You got it? Word?
I got you. I'll bring you a copy at the PWG show.
Yo, thank you so much, man. Thank you for that.
I'll bring you a copy.
Yeah, and then like I'm still stuck in my like Rockefeller, Rough Riders, Murder Inc. with like 1988 and 2000 era of rap, man. Like that's like you know when everybody's singing started from the bottom. I'm like, yo, Ja Rule came out with Clap Back, like that was hot. And like Nelly fans was like, yo, hey little Portia. I'm like, yo, remember when he came out with Ride With Me? Like that was hot.
And I've also heard that you do a mean DMX impression.
I do a really good DMX impression. Actually, I'm going to be DMX for Halloween this year.
Yeah, can you do the impression real quick?
I can. Okay, I'm at Steak and Shake. I hope I don't get in trouble. Okay, hold on.
DMX is cool at Steak and Shake.
Thank you. All right, here we go. We was just listening to him in the gym, too. I had to, like, turn his music off because we play it over the speaker. But let me see if I can get this. I always start off with the one song or the one preach. Okay, here we go. Sometimes I wonder what life's about. Sometimes I wonder what makes me shout. I ask myself, Jesus, I repeal you, Lord. In the name of Jesus.
Blood in, blood out.
Blood in, blood out. DMX, be the best. I get my dogs. We run up on him. Bite him in the neck like a pit bull. Leave a dog alone and he'll find his way home. My home of the brave. What? Stop. Drop. Black folks, white pork chop. Whoa. No. Mexicans eat burritos. And then that's where we ended.
Hey, all I got to say is the chant of PWG got to be multitaskers. Multitaskers.
He does come out with a DMX song.
He motivates, he impersonates, and he generates, man. I love it.
I'm coming out to the song I've been coming out to for the past 4 years, but it's been a very long time. I got to come out to Lupe Fiasco. The show goes on. I just got to. It's indebted. And it's not like the people at home get to see it anyway because they don't put the entrances on the DVD, which is cool. So
I can't wait. It's going down, ladies and gentlemen, this Friday. Pro Wrestling Gorilla BOLA. ACH is making his debut.
California, get ready for me.
Him going against Tony Nese. I'm going to be fucking marking the fuck out. You're going to get so many chants that you're going to be at the next PWG the next PWG show after that one, and the next one after that one, and the next one after that, and after that. You're going to be a regular after this show. I'm praying on it.
Yo, we got to get, it's over 9,000 chants. We got to get Spirit Bomb chants. We got to get, it's about to be one big party at PWG this weekend, man. It's going down.
Hey, and I was going to say, if you want, the whole WrestlingHeads crew, we always go to Denny's right around the corner after. You're more than welcome to hang out with us, chop it up with us, kick it with us after the show. But before we let you go, you want to give out your Twitter, your Facebook, all that good stuff?
Yeah, you can follow me at GoGo ACH, at GoGo ACH. That's my Twitter handle. From there, you can find the Facebook page. You can also go buy some of your great, lovely ACH T-shirts at www.prowrestlingtees.com/ACH, and go get my replica shirt. Go get my parody shirt of Motivation is Here. Like, I thought that was brilliant. You know, John Cena's got the champ is here, you got the beard is here, you got the motivation is here. Like, that's a great shirt. I thought it was great.
Oh, yeah. I'm definitely going to have an ACH shirt.
You got to get the motivational shirt. They got the arrow point to the bicep. You just flex the bicep. The motivation is here. Like, I mean, this is brilliant. And I also got some other stuff in the works, too, man. So make sure you guys go support all the wrestlers on the Pro Wrestling Tees website. But make sure you buy about 4 or 5 ACH shirts, though. So.
All right, ACH. We want to thank you for the show, bro.
Thank you guys for having me, man. And when NBA 2K comes out, you hit me up, and I'll put it on you with the Spurs.
Definitely, man. All right, bro. We'll see you on Friday.
All right, man. See you guys on Friday, man. Thank you so much. Oh, wait.
All right.
Tony Schiavone wants to say goodbye to you guys.
Right.
Tony Schiavone, can't wait for the Battle of Los Angeles. ACH takes on Alex Wright. What do you mean Alex won't be there? What kind of tournament is this?
Oh, shit, Alex Wright.
All right, man.
He had the
Good night,
best dance ever.
California.
He had the best dance
I
ever.
wish I could take him with me.
Oh, shit.
All right, bro. I guess we'll see you on Friday, man.
All right, man. See you guys on Friday, man. Thank you.
All right,
Take care.
Shout out to ACH.
We're still doing it. Love it.
Yeah, definitely. We'll be right back, and we'll have our next guest, Tj Perkins, with us. We'll be right back here on WrestlingHeads Radio. Four Corners Radio is the home for the best professional wrestling and independent wrestling, discussions and coverage. Billy, Ant, Martin, and Sam bring you 3 of the best podcasts every week. The Four Corners Raw Roundtable, the Indie Project, and the Saturday Freestyle. Along with the podcast, FourCornersWrestling.com is designed with all wrestling fans in mind. Feature articles, videos, the weekly shows, and much more. Four Corners and WrestlingHeads are teaming up to bring you wrestling's next revolution. Are you ready? Welcome back to WrestlingHeads Radio. And now joining us is TNA superstar. We got Tj Perkins. What up, bro?
Hey, I wish you guys would have kept ACH on. I wanted to mess with that dude.
Oh, man.
He's having fun and then steak and shake right now.
He always has fun. He's a really cool dude. I love being around him.
Yeah, man. We were just talking to him about his Spurs getting knocked out by the Heat and stuff.
Yeah, I heard him say that when 2K comes out, that he'll put it on you with the Spurs and old ass Duncan.
Yeah, I don't know about that one.
Damn.
I believe him.
What's going on,
TJ?
TJ?
Will, though. That dude like practices 2K just so he can put it on people.
Oh man, what's going on with you, man?
Oh, nothing much.
Man, welcome back to the show. This is the third time you've been on the show.
What's that?
I said this is the third time you've been here on the show with us.
Yeah, thanks for having me back. You guys are cool dudes. Very easygoing atmosphere.
Yeah. For all those that don't know, Tj Perkins is a WrestlingHeads Hall of Famer on here. So this guy's been on here like 3 times. So if you've been on the show more than once, you're automatically part of our Hall of Fame, and he's on our Hall of Fame list. So
awesome. I need a custom Hall of Fame ring crafted.
We'll make one.
Man, it's a lot that's been going on with you, man, since last time you've been on here, dude.
Yeah, quite a bit has changed.
Man, congrats on your signing with TNA, dude.
Thank you very much. It's all happened kind of, so fast. I guess in comparison to like coming in and out of there and other places for like 15 years, like the last like 15 weeks or whatever have gone by pretty quickly. So
it's well deserved.
Yeah, definitely, man. We'll go ahead and start off with some questions with you. Oscar, you want to go up and start off with the first question?
Yeah, I'm glad you started me off because a lot of people wanted me to ask TJ this question. Do y'all want to know, is this Friday your last PWG show?
You know, I honestly don't know. The organization is the TNA rather is they're aware. Obviously, I'm wrestling for PWG, and they didn't have any reservations about it. But I don't know how much that'll change between now and a month or two, whenever the next card is. And obviously, they have restrictions and certain things in play, but for right now, everything's cool. But so I honestly don't know. So we'll have to see.
Well, even if it's your last show Friday, I'm pretty sure I'm going to see you again because I'm going to Bound for Glory. So I know you gave me the last time I'll see you. Yeah. All right. Chris?
Yeah. How you doing? It's an absolute pleasure to have you on the show, man. It's a big fan.
It's my pleasure to be on. So.
My question is, you seem to have many interests outside of the industry. Even though you started at a young age, did you ever have any other aspirations besides pro wrestling?
It's funny because, I'm glad I'm perceived that way because sometimes I feel like I have such an introverted lifestyle and I'm so, singularly focused on wrestling that sometimes I worry that I don't like enough stuff outside of wrestling. But as far as a career path, I honestly have never ever once thought about anything else I would do. Ever since I was a kid, I just assumed I'd grow up to be a wrestler. And then, in fact, I was so set on being a wrestler that I assumed everybody grew up to be a wrestler. I was weird like that. I didn't I thought, oh, my best friend will be a wrestler. This guy will be a wrestler. Someday we're all going to be wrestlers. I was weird. It's just it dominated my mindset on what my future was going to be that much that even though I knew full well that there are doctors, firefighters in the world, for some reason I just assumed everybody became a wrestler someday when they grew up. And then when I finally became a wrestler, I don't know. I never really thought of doing anything else. But part of that was just my mindset. When I started it, I kind of promised myself that I wasn't gonna, I was gonna give everything I could to it. So part of that, I was afraid to think of anything else because I felt like, if I think of something else, then I might, I might start to let go, and then I'll have, because I have a fallback or something like that. I just feel like not having a safety net made me kind of forced me to succeed.
Sort of keep your eye on the ball, Keep
yeah,
going forward.
I'm sure that there's stuff that I might have been interested in. I just kind of didn't allow myself to see it. So.
Yeah. You definitely have that perception, at least to me anyway. And I always wanted to, if I ever had a chance to ask that question. Thanks. Go ahead. That was good.
I'm gonna just go ahead and pass the question on to Bruce, who has just joined the show, our other co-host. Bruce, you want to go ahead?
Yeah. Big time fan, TJ. Like we were talking over PWG, I was amazed with how much history, you were talking about, regarding Chris Benoit's bunk and Jushin Liger. I was just blown away by that. That I was just the guys that I see you as a friend, but also as someone I idolize. But how does it feel, someone like yourself, to be in the exact same footsteps of the people who you used to idolize in the past, of Benoit and Eddie and Jushin, and all of a sudden now you're in Eddie's or Chris's room or Eddie's room? How does that relate to us? Because to us, those guys are legends. And now, you're coming off like a legend to us. So how does that feel to be in that presence around that?
Well, it's weird because I feel the same way that you guys do. I mean, I don't like I see them in that way, and I'm always gonna feel that way about those guys, and it's really hard to accept anybody feeling that way about me. But like, you know, every passing year I start to see it more, like when I speak with you know, fans or different people, and especially when people haven't known me for a long time, and then I can see, you know, over the course of 15 years, or, you know, that like how much I've grown and progressed, and things that have like kind of yeah, I guess the resume of my life, how it's perceived by people. But I mean, it's weird. You know, I think there was like one day where I was in Japan, and one of the elders, somebody was talking to me, and it was like they just so nonchalantly referred to me, and I think it was like Rocky Romero and Danielson at the time was still there, I think, and they referred to us like we're just like the next, you know, Malenko's, Guerrero's, you know, Benoit's like coming through there, and we, like, you know, like the next Finley's, Regals, you know, whoever, and so we're just like I think one of us legit just laughed out loud, because it was like, what? But and they looked at us kind of cross-eyed, because it was like, how do you not see yourself like this? Because in their eyes, they're like, you know, you're doing what they did, now you're the current ones, and somebody's going to come after you, and you're going to be gone someday, and that's just how it is. And to us, we're just like, oh my God, like, this is so new to us still, and how could you put us on that type of plane? But then looking back, it's like, you know, I was wrestling Tiger Mask for the junior title, and like Danielson was doing the same thing, and he became a junior tag champ, and we were all wrestling in the Tokyo Dome and did the Super Juniors, and like I was in the Young Lions Cup myself, and it was like, you know, after you sit back and look, it's kind of like, well, I guess we really are doing the same things that those guys are doing, but it's hard to accept because of how big of an image they are in our heads, you know?
Now, does that cause you to be overwhelmed, or does that push you to try even harder to try to live up to that comparison?
You know, it doesn't feel overwhelming. I guess sometimes I wonder if do I want to live up to this, or do I want to have people look at me different from them? I don't know, like, it's not overwhelming, but it's definitely a driving force, like, in your head, you know. Somebody was asking me earlier about mental toughness, and you know, some people know about, like, the difficult things I've gone through, like, in my career, in my life, and stuff like that, and they asked me about, you know, is being young and having to deal with wrestling as a career, like, is that something that adds to your mental toughness? And, you know, I was answering that question, and I think this kind of relates to that, is it really forces you to, it kind of puts a chip on your shoulder to shoot for, like, you know, to have those type of comparisons to you, and it's like, you know that some people probably feel insulted if you're compared to those people. Like, I know I heard it. Some people will compare me to those guys, and then there's some people that hate me, and they're like, don't compare this dude to that guy, blah, 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 blah. And then it kind of makes you feel like, well, that is reality, and now I do have to prove it. So it is a driving force, definitely.
But positive.
Yeah, absolutely. It's definitely a healthy challenge for you mentally. It helps keep you focused, give you something to shoot for.
I'm glad to hear that. I'm happy to hear that.
Yeah, definitely. My question is, well, now that you're the X Division champ, how's it feeling to be X Division champ after, you know, guys like AJ Styles, Austin Aries, Chris Sabin, et cetera, et cetera? Can you tell me the feeling of winning that title, and what's your plans with the TNA as the X Division champ?
You know, like, I think it was yesterday, I looked up the lineage of the title, the history of it, and most of it was just looking at, you know, the names and the different title holders and stuff, just to kind of get a feel for, like, the magnitude of where I sit and what I'm doing, and you know, it's amazing to look at the guys that have you know, challenged and held this title. It's like, I mean, we're talking about like AJ Styles and just there's so many modern wrestlers, and like I think AJ is a great example of somebody that will probably be looked at as a legend, you know, as soon as they're done with this, and it's to be a part of that history is a big thing for me. Personally, what I would like to do is raise the influence of the X Division and you know, give it more significance than it's had in the past. I don't like being asked all the time if I'm gonna option C the belt. Like I would like someday for the heavyweight champion to feel like they want to be the X Division champion. Like that's what I would like, is for them to see this division as important, like that it's a goal of theirs now. It would be great to be the world champion, obviously, but I just think that there's so much ground that I could break with, and all of us in the X Division could break with the division now, and you know, take it to a new level. I think now is a great time. So for me, that's my goal. Like I look at around the world, you see like, you know, you see boxing and like MMA and welterweights, light heavyweights, middleweights. They're main eventers, and it's all equal share up and down the different rankings. And like I'd like to have that. I'd like to raise the significance of this division. Who knows? Like that could lead to, you know, women's divisions being taken more seriously, tag team divisions being taken more seriously. Like I would like to raise the influence.
Yeah, definitely, dude. I mean, I'm just gonna keep it real. Me, as you know, a fan of yours, and like knowing you personally, like when I saw, you know, the video of you signing that contract and you becoming, you know, the TNA X Division champ, I mean, the feeling, I mean, it even made me feel good, even though I'm not, you know, in TNA, but it's like I know this guy. Like it's great to see somebody on like that I know personally, like on TV doing his thing, and I'm definitely proud of you, bro.
Thank you. I really appreciate that.
All right, I got one. This is going to sound a little weird. TJ, I have to ask. Underneath the mask, and I don't know if you can answer this, how long have you been underneath the mask? Like since the very beginning of Suicide?
Yeah, I've obviously been there now since for the better part of this year, so right. I've had to fill shoes of other people.
Gotcha. Okay.
Go ahead, Chris.
And I don't know if I believe this, but I go to as many shows around the country as I can, and when I'm standing in line and when the subject of TNA comes up, the number one perception that fans have about TNA is that TNA management does not appreciate the great young talent on the roster as much as they should. So I ask you, in your opinion, does TNA management make this mistake, or are the fans way wrong on this assumption?
As far as them not appreciating like younger talent?
Yeah, I don't know if I really believe in it, because if the names you just listed on that X Division alone is amazing. But the number one, I don't know if you want to. Their perception is they get behind the older guys, the bigger guys.
Oh, I know what you're saying. Yeah. Okay. So the perception of that, I think the perception needs to be tweaked from the people that believe that. Obviously, a lot of the older stars are very influential, and they are a lot of stock is put into them, but that's with good reason. Like, I mean, these guys are like these guys fuel the banner. Like, they absolutely do. I mean, like, I wish people could see, and you know, it kind of takes positive thinking and a positive attitude and like good faith in something to understand this, because you'll never be able to see it unless you're an actual performer. But I wish people could see, like, when we go, you know, from city to city, and what it's like to be in the arena live, and to see all these people and hear them, and then to be at meet and greets and different things like that, and to see the effect that some of the older stars that people feel are not good for wrestling anymore, I guess.
Yeah.
the effect that they still have on people is massive. Like people that criticize it just do not understand because they're not there to see it and to feel it. Like, it's amazing to see grown men cry, like, when they see some of these guys. It's unbelievable. So it's definitely true that they are a lot of stock and weight is put into them, but it's absolutely untrue that there is not investment in younger talent, because there definitely is. Obviously, I wouldn't be there if that were the case. And then there's a lot of guys that's evidence of that. I mean, AJ Styles became the face of the company by virtue of that very reason. I mean, he didn't come in to TNA as a 35-year-old veteran. He came in as a young guy, and they gave him the stage for his entire career to become a living legend, basically. Chris Sabin, same idea. I mean, he's been there forever, and they've always had faith in him.
Put the strap on him.
Yeah, it's the way it should be, definitely. So I think it's the perception of it needs to be tweaked, because it's not a negative thing the way that it's proportioned. Everything happens for a reason.
But don't you feel like there is some validity to the locker room if, like, certain older talent, let's say they go out like on an interview, or if they go out to an appearance and they don't hype TNA, the company that's employing them or that's paying them, shouldn't that kind of like technically be their job?
You know, it is and it isn't. And nobody ever, any place I've ever been, and it's not even a TNA thing. I mean, just anything. I mean, New Japan, whatever. Like, I've never had a place that said that I had to say anything ever. Like, so I mean, I've wrestled for New Japan where I did newspaper interviews, and not only did I not talk about New Japan, but they didn't even ask about it. And I'm in Tokyo. So, I mean, it's not always as big a thing as people. It's not like they're blatantly going out there and, like, disregarding something or, like, leaving it out like it should be a slap in the face. It's just, people are asked what they're asked, and their answers are their answers. And, if they wanted an interview with the company, then they would have interviewed the company, not the individual. So, when people say something or don't say something, there's no hidden meaning or motive or anything behind it. It's just people reaching, saying, oh, they should have said this. So it's like, why? And just let them answer the question.
Well, wouldn't you agree that every little bit mentioning it, does kind of help in the long run, especially for a budding company, like for a company that's trying to grow, trying to expand? Wouldn't that help benefit yourself, the rest of the locker room, the talent in the back, even management, to just at least give one plug, right?
Well, it does, but then at the same time, I mean, how much do you plug something before it just sounds like you're doing it just to do it? Because if somebody would say, like, how many people do you follow on Twitter, and you're like, God, Impact's going to come on, they're going to retweet this forever, or Raw's going to come on, and this wrestler's going to retweet every commercial, like, about the, and then it's just like, this person doesn't, it's robotic, it's mechanical. So it's one of those damned if you do, damned if you don't type things. If somebody doesn't like, so-and-so ex-wrestler, and then if they plug something, they'll say, oh, well, they're just shilling their crap. If they don't plug it, they're going to say, oh, this person's a terrible representative. And the reality is, like, they're going to get hated anyway. So, and I think that the fact that they're out there in public and they're drawing influence from people to themselves, people will seek them out. So, they don't have to say where they'll be all the time, because people will find them. I mean, just by virtue of being on TV every week, for example, people have sought me out. Like, I haven't, said, hey, look at me, I'm here and doing this. Like, people come to me, and I haven't had to plug a single thing. So I think just simply being influential, like being an important person to the public, is going to draw people into whatever you're doing. You don't always have to say, I will be here and I am doing this and I'm representing this. Just, I think it's good to be natural.
Yeah. Oscar, you have a question?
Yeah, I have a question for him. This relates to the AWS show you had with Sabu a few months back. I tweeted to you this, but that you shocked the holy hell out of me that match. I didn't thought of you that you were a hardcore guy. Like the name TJ before that match, the name TJ Perkins didn't fit hardcore for me. But when I saw that match, I was like, what the fuck? Who was this side of TJ Perkins? I was like, what the fuck? And then I was like, wow. It's like I cannot explain in words. I was like, man, if this guy was around the 90s, Paul Heyman would be asking for your number. But yeah.
Oh, we don't know that he hasn't already. Let's just say that. All right. Oh no, we can straight up ask him. Has Paul Heyman ever asked for your number, or have you ever spoken to Paul Heyman?
No, I'm saying the 90s.
I've never spoken to or met Paul Heyman ever.
Yeah, but my question to you was, where was this side of you, and what was your thoughts wrestling against Sabu?
Well, I guess that side of me has probably always been there, but I just never felt like, obviously, I kind of needed it that day to come out. But I think there's been maybe one or two times in my career that I've ever had matches like that. It's not often, so I'm definitely not synonymous with street fighting and hardcore stuff. But but I guess it's there. I mean, I guess that's just part of my adaptability as a wrestler. I've kind of always prided myself on versatility. So, and obviously, I didn't realize this, but I just counted earlier today. I think somebody asked me, but I've done 7 different mask characters, like all of them different. None of them been the same attitude. So I guess like my versatility is greater than I thought it was. At least I found out that day. But my thoughts on it, though, like obviously, I mean, Sabu's a legend. It is such an honor to be able to go in there with somebody. Like when you get a chance to wrestle a legend, I mean, it's an unbelievable thing. And so for me, I mean, that's a huge thing. Plus, he comes from that generation of like, you know, Eddie Guerrero, like that type of generation. So for me to wrestle a guy that's representative of, you know, people that I want to be just like, I mean, that was really cool. So yeah, I mean, looking back to that match, I was thinking, you know, it felt like you should have won the match, but and sadly ended up Sabu winning it. But I did went to the last AWS show this past weekend. There was a ladies hardcore match, and just to let you know, Hudson Envy and Candice LeRae both were like busted open, and Hudson Envy's blood was on my arm, so I was like, oh shit. Yeah, I know. It went that violent. I was sitting in the front row. I was like, oh shit, you know. So yeah. All right. Yeah. Well. All right, go ahead, Chris.
Yeah, I have a question. Before I ask my question, because I'm going to be at the Cleveland show tomorrow. I just wanted to ask, are you going to be at it? Obviously, probably because it's Impact. No, I'm not scheduled for a match, which is kind of a duality. Thankfully, my body gets the night off, but personally, I wish I would have. But I'm not sure. They might have some alternate X Division stuff, like a qualifier or something else scheduled. Which it might, I think, would. I haven't looked at the schedule, but that might be the case. Because I think this is only like the second or third week I've missed since I've been back. So I think after a while, somebody else needs to have a match other than myself. So, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And my question is, it's not wrestling related because, like you said, your story is unique, and I'm sure you, because you're a professional wrestler, you have traveled the world, and I'm sure you've seen a number of amazing things. What thing has stand out in your mind that, be it a landmark, scenery, people, or whatever, to this day you're like, wow, I got a chance to see that on this planet? I mean, because you've been everywhere. I mean, what's that one thing that amazed you that you got to see?
You know, it's weird. Like, out of all the things, like places I've been, and so, like, I don't anyway. Myself anyway. I had never really realized the places I've been and things I've seen, and like now that I'm older, like I say older like I'm an old man or something, but for me it's older because I started when I was like 13. But now that I'm older, I kind of look back and I'm starting to actually now realize, like, oh hey, that's cool, I've been there. And like earlier yesterday I was at the gym and the woman at the juice bar was Japanese. I think she must have moved here recently. She had a heavy accent, and she would say certain things in Japanese. And so in my, I'd never thought about this, but in my head I was like, I used to live in Tokyo. I could probably answer her and there's certain things will come up where it's like, man, I'll see something on TV or a picture somewhere. And it's like, I've seen that. I've been there. Like I've been to I've seen the Eiffel Tower or whatever. Like I think mostly the people is the coolest thing. Is just like being in like a Tokyo subway train or a New York City or something, and like seeing the people or like walking the streets of Mexico City and like the different people and the different cultures I've been able to see. And I did a stay in Barcelona for about a week and a half, coaching a seminar and wrestling a few shows, and just kind of having like a week to live there and see everything. And just times like that is probably what I'm still amazed by the different cultures I've seen.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing sport. The fact that not only do you work, but you get to observe so many things and travel so many different places. It's pretty amazing. It's a pretty amazing occupation, and you get to do that. And it's.
It's a shame because, for me, and I'm sure most guys are like this. They it happens so fast that you don't realize it when it's happening, and then some people forget all about it before they remember. So. Sometimes I feel like I get worried. I'm like, oh man, I hope I remember all this stuff later on in my life. Because this is pretty incredible stuff. Not everybody gets to see these things.
Yeah, it's almost like you have to write a book so you remember all this stuff because you do so much. It's like it's pretty amazing. All right, I have no idea whose turn it is. Go ahead, whoever's next.
It's mine. I'm not going to ask you a question because actually some of our followers have questions, if you don't mind answering them.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Jay from PW Powerhouse, he asks, working under the mask, does it affect your style?
Not really. I think going back to what I was saying about versatility before, one of the things that I was kind of raised on is that a great wrestler can wrestle anywhere. So it doesn't matter if the ring is bad, doesn't matter if the weather is bad or the people are bad or your opponent is bad, like whatever it is, it's on you. You gotta make it happen. So I've always kind of, I grew up with that in my head. And so to me, most of those, stuff like that doesn't bother me. Like I'll, have a brand new pair of boots one day and it doesn't bother me if, they're not broken in. Like, some guys are real touchy about stuff like that. But for me, I've never been. Plus, I've wrestled so much under different masks that, I guess sometimes I just forget it's even there. And this one is no different. I feel a little bit better with this one, though. It definitely, it's no joke when they say that it kind of makes me a different person. I really do feel I feel like I'm a little bit sharper and better for whatever reason and what I got now. But no, it doesn't really change my style.
Definitely. Another question from David Wilson. He said, before your signing with TNA, were you ever contacted by the WWE and joining NXT?
I don't know if it was to join NXT, but I actually got a phone call from WWE the day before I signed my contract. I didn't return it, though.
Oh, wow.
So,
Could you say who contacted you?
Just somebody from the Stanford office.
Okay. Have you ever been contacted by Ring of Honor also?
I still speak to people from Ring of Honor. Obviously, it's on a casual basis. Before I was wrestling full-time recently for TNA, I kept in contact with them, if scheduling would permit for me to come back in and have a few matches or something like that. I never really left them when I left. It was just mostly I just needed the freedom to do some, my own thing for wrestling, and they always had thought that I would be back again someday. So, yeah, I mean, I still talk to him, but now it's just obviously a casual thing.
And one more thing from Jonathan. He says he wants to see you go hardcore at BOLA.
I guess I could try to throw some of that in there. I'm wrestling probably the 3 most representative pretty boys of PWG, so I might not need to go that hardcore, but I think I could oblige maybe a little bit and figure something out there.
Yeah, definitely. Before we get into BOLA, I want to actually talk about your match with Kyle O'Reilly at PWG 10, which was definitely, in my eyes, the best match of the night. Besides, the ladder match and the guerrilla warfare match, I fucking love that match. That was my favorite match, personally. And it was definitely very technical. I fucking love the shit, dude. You and Kyle definitely killed it, man. I loved it.
Thank you very much. But it's fun to get in there with a guy with a similar skill set as you and just kind of like be able to go in and just kind of freestyle it. Like, I remember when I was in there, I kind of felt like it was kind of like it. Like, you ever see like I don't know like how many of you are like basketball heads like I am, but like sometimes you see games where like I can't remember who was on the other end, but like there's a game like 10 years ago where T-Mac was like just trading half-court threes with another guy. And it was like, it was almost like their teams weren't even on the court. Just every possession, they would just come back and shoot. That's all it was, like almost uncontested. And then sometimes you see like, really heated one-on-one, exchanges throughout an entire game to where it's like their teams are non-existent. It kind of felt like that to me because it's fun to get in there with a guy where he's got a similar style as you, and you can just let it all hang out and just let it come out organically because you know that they're going to have the same thing to offer. And that was what it felt like to me. It was just kind of like you got that, all right, I got this. You got that, okay, I got this. That's your answer, here's mine. Like that type of thing. So it's fun.
Yeah, it was very counter heavy. I loved and the storytelling in that match was awesome because then it got heated at the end. Even when that match was going on, and I had fortunate to have front row that match, you could see something special was happening in my eyes. I don't know about anyone else. That was a perfect match in my book. Just saying.
Yeah,
I don't know. It was great.
I'm with Chris.
I was gonna say exactly the same thing to TJ, but you guys beat me.
I can't wait to get that DVD just to watch it again because it's one of my favorites.
It's actually shipping out today. It's shipping out today, Chris. Yeah. So we'll have that by the end of the week.
Yeah, it's one of my favorites.
Yeah. Go ahead, Bruce.
Actually, that was going to be pretty much it. I was going to say you must have had some chemistry with Kyle before that put on such an amazing match like that. That was fast-paced, that had a bunch of submissions with a lot of mat wrestling. Is there anyone else who you do have or who you believe that you have a lot of confidence or a lot of chemistry with in the ring too?
Yeah, there's tons actually. I mean, if I were to make a list, the list would be pretty long. I could go on forever. There's some guys that'll surprise you, but I mean, there's a lot. I mean, obviously, like, he's almost a mirror image of him. But like, there's Davey Richards, and I've known him. He's one of my best friends in wrestling. And like I've done that with Kyle. I've had that type of match with Kyle, a few times now, where we could just go in and just freestyle. And like I've done that with Davey for years, and Rocky Romero and Ricky Reyes, the Vanna Pitbulls, either one of them, same type of thing. I could do it with. I could wrestle that way with a lot of guys. I mean, even guys that are on the same roster as me now. Like I could do that with Joe. I could do that with a lot of guys.
It's funny that you mentioned Davey Richards because we asked ACH the same question, and he actually mentioned Davey too. So yeah,
Maybe ACH is another guy. He's another guy I could just go in and just let it all hang out, and you know, it'll be good stuff every time. We think similarly, and it's funny because you know, I used to think I was really versatile in terms of like not having a specific style, like I just could do a little bit of everything. But ACH can do legit like a little bit of everything. That dude is just like all kinds of different. So you know, I mean, he's another guy. There's a lot of guys that would fall into that category for me.
Yeah. Go ahead, Oscar.
Yeah, I want to ask him about his Manic character. Before Manic, it was Suicide. My question to you is, why the name change? Is it something that you choose, or that TNA choose, or?
Well, the name I think is a good representation of you know, my style being so different and kind of unpredictable. It's a much easier. I think it's aesthetic for one, but it's also, I think it's a little bit easier changing coming off of you know, Suicide. It's a little hard to appeal to a broad audience with such a polarizing name, I guess is the right way to say it. You know, because on one hand, you know, the Suicide name and that moniker is very representative of you know, my style and who the character was. But in terms of, you know, being, you know, a high-flying daredevil that, like, I mean, it's a good name to, like, give you an image of that's how far this guy will go. Like, he'll give everything of himself. But, you know, obviously there's so many ways to interpret it, most of them negative. So so I think the name change is definitely an upgrade. You know, and the true definition of, you know, the word manic is a very good way to define the style. It's just, you know, there's a certain unpredictability and versatility in my style, and I think it's a great way to put it.
All right. Like I said, hopefully you still have the strap by Bound for Glory, because I'm going. I already got my tickets, so I hope I see you there in the show.
Yeah, me and sure. Oscar's going to be there.
Yeah.
We'll be there. Can't wait. Go ahead, Chris.
Yeah, I've seen that you've helped and trained a number of great wrestlers. Can you see yourself in the distant future doing more of that? Maybe own your own school and training young people to be wrestlers.
You know, I've helped. I guess I've helped. You know, guys put in their work. I don't like to think of myself as a coach, at least not now. Just I feel like same way as like earlier thinking of alternate occupations. I think the less I think of myself as a student, the I feel like it'll hurt my growth as a wrestler. So I don't like to be in that role necessarily. But I always felt like in the future, just because, like, you know, I have a pretty good reputation for having a high wrestling IQ from my peers, yep. And also my peers, I have a reputation for you know, being versatile and being very easy to be in the ring with. So I feel like someday I'd like to offer, you know, when I'm not wrestling anymore, I guess, I'd like to offer, you know, something in terms of maybe I could, you know, be a coach or something like that. I've when I first was wrestling for MTV as Sadistico, originally I was contacted to be an agent, so I was actually an agent there, and that's something I really would love to do someday. Just because I think that I'd have a lot to offer, and I think that I'd be a good person to communicate with people, just because I think sometimes people get tapped for those roles and they're not very good at communicating with guys. And I think that, you know, my experience would help me to help others, you know, no matter where they come from.
Yeah, you definitely would fit in the category of spilling a lot of knowledge to people. I mean, I could definitely see that. No doubt about it. Good.
Yeah. This is actually a question. I don't know if you know who Justin is, right? TJ.
Justin.
You play with him on PlayStation a lot.
Oh yeah, we've had some 2K wars. He's a good kid. If we're thinking of the same guy, he's a good kid. Yeah.
Yeah, he had a question. He wears glasses.
Yeah. He's like little Mexican Dr. Green.
Yeah. He actually had a question. He said, "Will you be signing at the Bound for Glory fan at the fan signing?" And
I don't know. Go ahead.
And the other question, he says, "What do you think about me? No homo."
What a wiener. As for Bound for Glory, I don't know. I don't have a schedule for anything right now, so I don't know yet. I mean, I'll definitely be there. Even if I don't have a match, I'll definitely be there. It's like my backyard, obviously, here in Southern California. So, I think there's a good chance that I'll be part of the interaction and everything like that. As far as what I think of him, he's a really good kid, and he's a cool guy, and I don't get to get on PlayStation Network far often enough to have wars with him as I want to, but it's always fun, especially that since we're always going back and forth on 2K. He's a cool kid.
Yeah, he said he's gonna listen to the show tomorrow, so I'm pretty sure he'll be happy to hear that. He'll be at BOLA too. So, speaking of BOLA, we know that you're gonna be at the first night. Are you gonna do the second night also?
I don't have anything scheduled for the second night, no. And actually, I had been scheduled to wrestle in Calgary this weekend on a few shows, but because of travel complications, I'm not going to be able to make. I don't think any of them, unfortunately. But I'm still actually traveling to Calgary, and I'll be going the next day. So even if I was scheduled, I wouldn't be able to make it. So it's just night one, main event for now.
Yeah, for all those that don't know, the main event is Tj Perkins teaming up with the Forever Hooligans, going against the Young Bucks and Adam Cole. And Adam Cole is the PWG champ, and the Young Bucks are the PWG tag champs. So this is a crazy match. Looking forward. I fucking love everybody that's going to be in that ring. And I'm pretty sure you guys are going to tear the house down.
Yeah, I can't wait to get in there. Everybody in that match is awesome. So it's just I feel like we could all just be there and be awesome together. So it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure you're going to get that question all night. Is this your last PWG show? I'm hoping not. I'm pretty sure the rest of the guys here on the show.
I hope not. Yeah, I hope not as well. So we'll see. But I heard there's a guy named Puma that wrestles a lot like me, so maybe he'll go to PWG or something if I'm not allowed to go back.
Oh, that guy. Yeah, man. Cause I don't want to do the goodbyes anymore because we had Sammy leave, we had El Generico leave, we had Joey leave for like a while, and he's back
for like a day. Yeah.
Yeah. We don't want to do no more goodbyes at the
no more tears.
Yeah.
That's fine. Cause I'm definitely the odd duck out on that list anyway. I mean, those guys are so influential and so trendy. I'm not like I'm not a goodbye guy. I think I'm just kind of well, that guy was here guy, but
no.
You have a question, Bruce?
Yeah, I had 3 of them, and they were just going to be really small. What match kind of changed your life as to when you were a kid, you knew you wanted to be a wrestler? What is your favorite match that you've participated in? And besides yourself, now that you were X Division champion, people look at you and are like, wow, comparable to Chris Sabin and Austin Aries, like you're up there. Who else besides yourself would you see as the future of the business? Go.
First question, I'd probably say the Iron Man match with Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart. I was in Anaheim, so I got to see that live. I was in the 14th row. I came to find out years later that Tyson Kidd was also in attendance, maybe like 5 rows away from me.
Oh.
But that match to this day is still my favorite match to watch. And I mean, not a lot of people would understand this unless you are like actually a wrestler, but like as a professional fact, it's unbelievable what they did that night. Like I know fans have their different idea of like stuff that's their favorite, and you know, fans obviously don't have the education or experience to know when something's good or bad necessarily, but like as a professional speaking on it, I can say that is, you'll never find higher level stuff than that. I mean, it's just unbelievable what they were able to do when everything is taken into account. So that really changed everything for me. It still inspires me to this day. Favorite match that I've ever been a part of, there's probably been a few. I'd probably say any one of the matches I had in Mexico, there's a series of matches that my team had against Ricky Marvin, Virus, and Volador. We went at it like the whole year that I was there, and then our last match was the 70th anniversary show for CMLL. So, you know, just being an 18-year-old kid on such a legendary show for that company and in such a legendary venue, that was just unbelievable for me. And then other than that, I'd probably say there was a 4-man match I had at Destination X 2006. It was to kick off the World X Cup, and I was severely injured that day. I had a torn ligament in my knee, and I actually gave myself frostbite from over-icing during therapy, and I basically had to wrestle on one leg, and there was a lot of pressure on me because, you know, the other guys were regular performers, and I was the outsider, and we had to deliver an exciting match because it was an introduction for the World X Cup. So I felt a lot of pressure personally to kind of rise to the occasion, and the match turned out so great. And so to me, that's like my Jordan flu game. That's for me personally. I look at that as like my Michael Jordan flu game. And so that's my answer for question number 2. And then for 3, I don't know. It's a tough thing to say because there's so many people coming up from a younger generation. It's hard for me to answer it too because, like I've been around so long. There's so many people that are probably in the twilight of their career, and I was actually in it before they had started. So it's weird when I talk about previous generations because every time a new generation comes up, because I was always so young, I would belong to every one of them. Like I belonged to the generation before Danielson and Punk and all those guys. Then I was in their generation. Then I was in after that with, you know, Sabin and Shelley and Sanjay Dutt and, you know, those guys. And then I was in the generation after that with, like, Steen and Generico. And then the generation after that with, you know, now it's like Ricochet and Johnny Gargano and all these different guys. Like,
I love all those guys.
But now you're starting to see some of these guys are actually getting opportunities that you didn't know if they would ever get. So you see guys like, you know, there's, you know, Sami Zayn and Sami Callihan and, you know, Chris Hero and stuff in NXT. And I think guys like that are going to be amazing, you know, if they can seize their opportunities. And so there's a lot of guys from this generation that are coming up that will, I think, absolutely have the opportunity to be, you know, like where Daniel Bryan is now, for example, and Punk and stuff like that. So, you know, there's definitely the next, say, like AJ Styles of the world is definitely out there. And there's so many of these talented guys. I mean, just look at the Pro Wrestling Guerrilla roster at any time in the last 2 years. You'll probably find, like, you know, a shitload of them. So.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, definitely. Gentlemen, you have any more questions?
Yeah. I don't know if Oscar wants to go first. I had just one quick one there, Oscar.
No, I'm done.
I'm a huge basketball fan too. I respect the Lakers, I respect the history. I'm a Bulls fan. But my question is to you: what is your favorite? And I don't know about. I'm talking about in the past, like Elton Baylor, Magic times. What is your favorite old Laker legend?
My favorite old Laker legend. I want to say Gail Goodrich, but I'm probably going to go with Jerry West. Jerry West is
the logo. The logo.
Yeah, I mean, he's the logo, but I mean, he's like, I don't know. I mean, like, depending on what generation you live in, there's a guy that, you know, quote unquote started it all. But like Jerry West, legit started it all. Like, you know, he was the premier non-big basketball player.
Yeah.
Before him, there was nobody else. I mean, he was the guy. Like, he had a great college career. He was the guy that. Yeah, I mean, he made it a thing for you to dominate across a stat board, not just be like, you know, great at one thing and not have to be a gigantic dude to play and dominate the game. Like, so, you know, when like people look at Jordan and they're like, well, Kobe just copies everything from Jordan, but Jordan copied everything from Julius Erving. And Julius Erving copied everything from, you know, somebody before him, and you know, we're talking about, like, you go down the line and you get into like pre-Oscar Robertson days, and like you know, Jerry West is the dude that started all for being a clutch all-around performer. So, I mean, and just the fact that he's a Laker is awesome. So selfishly, I've always loved Jerry West.
I couldn't imagine seeing them early '70s teams with him, Wilt, Baylor, and all them mid to early 70s.
Have you ever seen some of the tape on those games? Like, yeah, I've gone back and watched so many old games, and it's incredible watching him play. Yeah, it's funny because you can see
they have the streak.
Yeah, I mean, you could see the difference. I mean, like a lot of people will say this too, and it is valid that, you know, the level of play back then was different, and that's true. That's absolutely true. Like I thought it was no joke when Kobe said this dream team could take the old dream team, because I mean, just the average level of player and the way that the game has evolved scientifically, like mentally, is much different now. So I think it's a legitimate thing. Every generation is going to be better than the last. But you watch those old games, and you know, Bill Russell, Wilt, Baylor, Goodrich, you know, Havlicek, Jerry West, like all these guys, you could see they play like modern players then. Yeah. Nobody else on the court fits in with them. Like, it was obvious at that time. And when I watch those old games, it's incredible.
Excuse me, guys.
If you put those in today's strength and fitness sessions, they would be better as well. I mean, that's why I can't compare.
Yeah, I definitely think that there are a handful of guys throughout history. If you took them and prepared them the way modern athletes are, then they would be, you know, shoulder to shoulder with them.
Sure, that's good stuff.
TJ, you have a caller. Want to take a call real quick?
Yeah, sure.
All right, 323, you're on WH Radio. Who's calling?
Oh, what's up?
What's going on?
What's happening, nigga?
Willie. Willie Mack, what up?
Not much, chilling. What's going on, TJ?
What are you calling in?
Oh, I was calling in for that nigga Skip to wish him a happy birthday and whatnot.
Shut up, Willie! You called Skip for his birthday? Oh my God!
Yep.
Dude, tell us to pay Willie.
Thanks, Willie.
No problem, man.
You got a question real quick for your boy TJ?
Oh. Yeah, you got a question for me, Willie?
Question for you. I don't know when we planning on going back to Australia.
Oh shit! I wish it was like tomorrow. That tour was awesome.
Yes.
You see, somebody tweeted me a picture of our media day by the pool earlier today.
Yeah, I got that.
Yeah, I posted that. I also posted the picture of us doing the Young Bucks pose in L.A. That was a few days ago.
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh, man. You're looking out. Willie on the call, bro. Appreciate that, dude.
Oh, no problem. See y'all for Bola weekend, all right?
Yeah, I'm there.
Yes, sir.
I'll get you another drink. I'll get you another drink, just like I did at Don Jose's. I'll get you another one.
All right, sweet shit. I'm down for a drink, alcoholic beverage.
We'll get TJ one too. We'll have a round, all of us.
All right.
Hey,
all right, we'll take this weekend.
Denny's after the show, guys. Let's go.
Maybe. We'll see what's up.
All right, for sure.
Sweet.
All right, Willie.
Peace.
Peace.
Yeah.
Hey, Skis, that was on me. I told Willie to call in, so that was on me. I talked about him about that at the AWS show.
Hey, that was
that's funny.
That was epic right there.
I didn't expect that. I'm actually going to be 28 in like 2 hours, so TJ, so yeah.
Oh, awesome. We'll be the same age for a little while.
Yeah.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
So yeah, man.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, TJ, we're actually kind of running out of time. You want to throw out your Twitter, Facebook, all the good stuff, so everybody can keep in contact with you?
Yeah, I'm actually not that big on social media, but I don't have a Facebook or an active website or anything like that right now, but I do have a Twitter, obviously. I'm pretty big on that, I guess. My name on there is @MegaTJP, and then also I have an Ask FM account for anybody that has any short order fan mail to send me, and same name @MegaTJP. So you can find me at those two things, and that's about it.
What about your Manic Twitter?
Yeah. There's not much getting updated on Manic Twitter, so just go to the Tj Perkins one. You'll get the real Manic, so it'll be much better that way. And then I don't know for sure, but I believe for anybody that will be attending in Cleveland, I think the first Manic T-shirts are coming out now. So I've seen them; they look awesome, and I think there's more stuff to come pretty soon. But I think those are about ready to drop now. So for those that can, you could check that out, and otherwise watch Impact, because I will be watching myself, and I'll live tweet you if you tweet me. So
definitely, man.
Definitely getting that shirt tomorrow.
What's up?
Definitely getting that shirt tomorrow.
Yeah, I hope. I don't know if they'll have it out, but I heard today that they have them now, so they might be. Otherwise, it's coming very soon, but I think it'll be ready. So.
Definitely, man. Appreciate you being on the show, taking your time out to hang out with us today. We will see you this weekend, Friday. Again, Tj Perkins and Forever Hooligans going against the Young Bucks and Adam Cole, the main event. Definitely looking forward to it, and hopefully we can get you back on the show soon.
Yep, definitely. And for anybody in the Northeast, September 6th and 7th, I'll be wrestling some live events for TNA, so come check it out.
Definitely. All right, TJ.
All right, thanks, guys. It's been a pleasure.
All right, bro.
See you Friday.
Thank you. Take care.
All right, guys. Follow us at WrestlingHeads. Also, buy our T-shirt, ProWrestlingTees.com/WrestlingHeads. That's ProWrestlingTees.com/WrestlingHeads. Follow us, WH Skits, ROH Code, Sinister, what is it?
Sinister 632.
And Bruce?
Bcraft 4637.
Definitely. And we're outro. Peace.
What time is it? WH Radio.